Hello, and welcome to my first video blog. This is my new webcam. It's a Microsoft LifeCam, and it's actually a little bit better than the old camera, and that was a Logitech, which was actually, I used that for one day. If you've seen on the Twitter, I discussed the Logitech camera a little bit. Basically, I had problems with sound. I would not get any sound because it would use the microphone, and I'll show you the microphone. I would have to use this thing with it, so I'd look like Bob Barker. Hello, welcome to The Price is Right, and help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. But this camera has an onboard microphone, so I don't need this, and we'll just put it back under there. However, this thing does like to autofocus, and well, you see it just did that. But, you know, it's not bad. I mean, it's HD, at least from what I can tell, which is a step up. My real camera won't do HD. But, you know, it's fun. Meanwhile, welcome to my apartment. This is the tower fan that I bought back in '04. And then, of course, there's the exercise bike. And what else? Of course, bookshelf right behind me here. And that shoebox, I eventually am going to go through this one right there. I'm going to go through the shoebox, and it's got a whole bunch of old photos, and I need to go through it to just see, you know, what's on there. And eventually it'll end up on the website, and it'll be just, everything will be just spiffy. So, first video blog. And meanwhile, it was interesting. The journal entry about school supplies and schools and such. I will tell you this. I had a lot of fun writing that. And Grimes Elementary, my old elementary school, has always been my chew toy when it comes to these things. And I'll tell you why, too. The reason it is my chew toy is because my experience there was less than ideal. I mean, as I mentioned in the other video, Mrs. Carmichael actually did hold up the paddle, and that thing was friggin' huge. It was like a boat paddle. And it's just like, it says, would you like me to use this on you? And I'm just like, whoa. Scared the crap out of me. So, yeah, and then of course, let's not forget, Inappropriate. Inappropriate is like education's favorite term for I don't like that. And I actually did get an unsatisfactory grade in study skills because Mrs. Bradley did not like me. And, you know, I was, you know, challenging authority, you know, little budding anarchist, you know, and so that's, you know, that's how it worked. However, I still have, of all the things, right, I have, let me show you this. I have, alright, I still have my good egg pin right there. Believe it or not, I still have that, and which kind of gets me. I mean, I, you know, got the Good Egg Award in May in 2nd grade, and in Mrs. Klein's class, and that was one of those things. All right, focus. It's not focusing. Focus. Blast you. All right. Alright, hello. I'm still here. There we go. No. Focus, focus, focus. Oh, well. There it goes. Alright, listen to me. There it goes. But yeah, I was, you know, it's like Good Egg Award. It's like, it was like you had to be the perfect student, and I managed to do that for a month. And I got the Good Egg Award, so that was kind of fun. I still have the certificate and the pin. Of course, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it back in a 2004-5 journal entry. And it's like they kept piling on prizes. First, you got the certificate and the pin. That was always the case, even when I was in kindergarten at the now demolished Southside Elementary, which became Grimes when they moved. And then when I was in 3rd grade, they introduced a bumper sticker that says, "My child is a Grimes good egg." And that was kind of exciting. I mean, you know, of course they would do that after I got it, but a bumper sticker, I don't know. Of course, the way they were loading on present, they added a Frisbee. Now they're probably giving these kids a car. And so, that's just the way things work, I suppose. And what else? Anyway, I think this is a great improvement over video blogging in the car. Although I am going to try to improve that experience. I'm trying to find something where I can, like a GPS mount that grabs, like the one I have on for my real GPS. That one is the one on my the one I have. It's mounted on my vent in the car, and that is designed. What it does is it grabs it kind of like that. If you can imagine that, it grabs it like that, and that's how it holds it. And I can stick the phone in there. So if I can get one that sticks to the windshield, then I'm going to use that for. And there goes the focus again. There we go. If I can get one to stick to the windshield and grab like that, I can use the Droid and stick it a little higher up and be able to, so you can actually see what I'm seeing when I'm driving. And, you know, I might take you on and to test out I might have to take you on a little tour of Montgomery County. So that could be fun. You know, we'll get on Georgia Avenue and, you know, get annoyed at the other drivers who cut me off and do that. And otherwise, that's, you know, I'm doing this mainly to test the camera, I will admit. So, I mean, I'm just going off the top of my head here. And, so yeah. I mean, you know, and this thing has cool effects in it, too. And you'll have to see those eventually. I've played with them, but, you know, for a serious video blog, we don't need it. But if I can turn that blasted autofocus off, I have not figured out how to do that yet, but I'm sure there's probably a button or a setting somewhere that I haven't found yet. And that way, if I do this, it won't try to... Oh, and it didn't this time. Yeah, okay. It won't try to auto, if I just lean forward and do like this, that it won't try to... Oh, and now it's doing it. Oh, okay. Oh, there it goes. Then it will not try to do that. So, yeah. But anyway, here it is, and yeah, focus on me again. If I can lock the focus to where if I'm in one spot, it'll stay there, that will make me very happy. But I think this works, and so yeah. And again with the focus, that's annoying. So, anyway, here it is, and this thing has an onboard microphone too, which is nice. I mentioned that because I pulled out. Because I reached down and pulled this out and said this is what I would have had to do with that cheapie Logitech. That I would have had to use this thing. And I don't want to use this thing. Because this thing, like I said, you have to sit there, you know, it's like, oh how, 1980s, I'm sitting here with a microphone. And in the modern computer era, you don't need one of these. Because everything has the onboard microphone, and you just don't need this. Although this thing I bought in like 1998, and it has served me well. I remember I sat on several Breda cars with Matthew Tilley back in 2007. I had the Lappy on my lap, headphones on. He was holding the mic, and I was recording the sound to the Metro. And I've done, and a lot of train simulations have been the beneficiary of that, which is kind of fun. I mean, you know, because I mean, you know, if you ever use BVE or Open BVE, then and I couldn't tell you what that stands for right offhand. I'm sure it stands for something, but basically it's a train simulator, and there's like New York Subway, Metro, and a whole bunch of others. But yeah, a lot of BVE train sets have used my sounds, and also it's good that I did this because within the year of doing that, there were no 3000 series left with choppers, and that's kind of sad. But you know, well, that's what rehab does. You know, they ripped out the choppers, they put in those Alstom Onyx AC traction motors, so now it's a new high-pitched one goes and off it goes. So it's that. And yes, I do know all the sounds, just like I can do the voices for the chime However, I can also, and then I can also do the, it's like I can do the Metro voice, and I've also, having been to Chicago again, I can once again do, "This is Howard. Doors will open on the left at Howard." That's Chicago, their voice. It's like, that's one good thing though about having automated announcing. You can understand what they're saying, because you have some of these train operators will mumble or will say something weird. Like, I had a train operator on the red line this morning, and he's like, "This is," I don't know, what did he say? It's like, "This is Forest Glen, doors will open platform side." I'm like, what? You can't tell your left from your right? Come on, man. I mean, it was a little bit lame. And it's like, okay, I mean, you know. Of course, I know that the doors open on the left at every station until you get to Judiciary Square. That is your first right side station. And then you have Gallery, which is also right, Metro Center, right, Farragut's on the left, DuPont's right, and then everything else is left all the way to Shady Grove. And that's just the way it works. Metro has a lot of center platform stations. I think I counted one time, there are like 19 stations that are side platform. And so, you know, that's the way, that's just, yeah, 19 stations. And I think there are like 2 places where there are 3 in a row. And one of them is Gallery Place, Metro Center, and Judiciary Square. That was out of order, but, you know. Oh yeah, and the other spot is Ballston, Virginia Square, and Clarendon, where they're all 3 side platform stations on the Orange Line. And I don't believe there are any other places where there are 3 of them in a row. Because, I mean, you have Pentagon City Chrysler, but then you have Pentagon, which is a split platform, and then you have National Airport, which is a 3-track station, although Metro really kind of defeated the purpose of doing that, but, you know, well, such is what happens. And, so, yeah. But, that's the way that's just the way it is. And then, meanwhile, I'm going to Philadelphia sometime this fall for a day trip, and I'm gonna Railfan. And if all goes well, I'm taking a friend along, and we're gonna both Railfan it, and that'll be fun. We're not gonna do the whole system. We're gonna do probably not even a whole line. We'll do part of it till we get bored, and we'll see some of Philadelphia, you know. And the current plan is we're gonna drive up to New Jersey, and in Cherry Hill take the Patco speed line, which Mom says she used to ride a whole lot in the 70s. So that'll be kind of fun. And again with the focus. And so, you know, get to see that because Mom's talked about it, how cool it was to ride in the front. And then Mom, though, doesn't really do the Railfan thing anymore, which is kind of a shame. But, you know, of course we all have to be nerdy about something. And, you know, Mom's quite a big riding geek. I'm about trains. I'm about a lot of things. And so, you know, everybody's got their thing to be nerdy about. So anyway, let me see how this video came out, and I will talk to you later. See you on the website. Ta-ta!